chicken dinner for tonight. Paul will come to your house and cook it if you're really, really nice.
If you're really, really nice.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know if they want to see what goes on behind these cameras.
Sure they do.
I'm still a little uncomfortable right now. And
We were jamming to Jerry Lee Lewis on The View.
I know, talking about a lot of educational things as well.
That's right.
But,
all right, we are making a chicken piccata. That is educational.
Yep. Chicken piccata and chicken marsala. We're going to do both of those. And a couple things I want to address initially is there are many ways you can prepare your chicken for this dish.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times what will happen is you can just put a little bit of flour on there. You can fry it. I do a little bit different, adds a little more flavor to it. And we're also going to be cooking with wine today, so I'm going to bring up a couple things about cooking with wine.
That's how it adds a little flavor.
Yeah, and that's why it was so fun afterwards. I had a lot more wine than this. But, in terms of what I do with the chicken, it's really easy. You can get one egg, and I like to add a little fresh chopped garlic. And the reason I like to do that with a little bit bigger chunks, because once you mix it in with the breading, then when you taste that chicken, you'll be able to taste the flavor of the garlic that it actually works out with. The breading itself, you can get croutons and crumble them up. You can get Italian breadcrumbs. You can get breadcrumbs, whatever you want. And once you get that done, I like to mix in a little Parmesan cheese with that as well.
Oh, yeah. Cheese goes with everything.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? You know, especially with wine. So
yes, cheese and wine go with everything.
Yeah. Wine and wine goes with everything. With the chicken, once you have your chicken, you do want to flatten it a little bit. Put some parchment paper around it. Flatten that thing out, and the reason being is when you saute it, you want it to be thin enough where it'll cook all the way through, but you're not going to burn the breading on the outside.
And thick chicken just does not taste good.
Yeah, it doesn't. And you end up putting it in the microwave because it's still pink inside.
Right.
Oh, I've never done that, but I've heard.
Right.
I've heard horror stories
sure.
about that. But how about just a little chicken in there? And you're going to just put in the breading just lightly to cover it. And then we're going to throw it in a little bit.
It almost looks like coconut, too. I bet that would be good.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Coconut chicken?
That would be good, especially with a sweeter sauce.
Oh, yeah.
So,
maybe you could make that next time.
you know what? I am taking requests now. So I just might. I'll surprise you, and I'll bring that out. But after you put this in, you're going to put it in a saute pan with some oil. Make sure the oil is nice and hot. And you're just going to saute that probably for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side.
Okay.
Now, one thing in discussing with wine, we're cooking with a white wine with the chicken piccata. The chicken piccata has capers and cherry tomatoes and lemon. And we're cooking with the Marsala wine, obviously, with the chicken Marsala.
Now, are these traditional recipes, or have you sort of added your own touch?
For the most part, all traditional. A couple small things with the piccata, I like to add cherry tomatoes.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say, I don't think I've heard of that.
Exactly. So, and with the Marsala, I like to add, a lot of them do have mushrooms in them. I like to add a little prosciutto with that as well. So
that's a little twist to the norm.
Between the chicken and the actual prosciutto ham, it's a wonderful blend. You know, dichotomies, but they go very well together.
Okay.
A couple things when people, when guests or anyone have questions about cooking with wine, the best rule of thumb is cook with what you would drink.
Okay.
Okay. You don't want to cook with things. You know, they do have cooking wines in grocery stores, stuff like that. But the problem is a lot of those have additives that are added in. They're not going to do anything for your meal. All they're going to do is just not enhance it, and that's really what we're all about.
That's a good point, because I always, I send my husband to the market, just get me a cheap red wine. So if I get a cheap red wine, it's not going to taste as good as if, we don't need a $20, $30 bottle, but...
Right, and to make the analogy, it's very much like what kind of cheese would you get at the market? Cheddar cheese. You can taste the difference between a nice quality cheddar cheese and your basic one, which I happen to live by personally.
I was going to say, I think I've only had the basic. What am I missing out
on? And one thing about Marsala wine, there are some questions out there I've actually fielded about dry and sweet Marsala wines. And again, to make an analogy with the wines, it's a difference between a mild cheddar and a sharp cheddar. Okay. They're all going to give you the same Marsala wine.
Does it say dry Marsala or sweet Marsala?
It certainly will.
Okay.
And Marsala wine is actually a fortified wine. Fortified wine is a history note, and we'll have to hurry that one up, but they used to add brandy to it in the old days, so the wine wouldn't go bad when they're traveling such long days.
Okay.
So that's what, it won't ever go bad. You don't have to refrigerate it.
Good to know. Well, we are out of time for this segment, but you're going to come back, and this is sort of what we're used to. You finish cooking.
Yep.
And then we come back. We also have some really fun infomercial gadgets that I think you said you'd be trying out.
I'm going to keep a close eye on that.
Okay, so we'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
Great.
All right, so